We've led innovation in digital media for years, everything from that famous milk drop portrait, right? That was one of the first innovations in digital media. So we have a long tradition of video gaming companies here. It's not exactly where it was invented, but some of the inventors came out of our region. Design, we have, we're one of the world's leading places for architecture and we had the first, MIT was the first school that actually had an architecture school in America. You can literally go down the list of the companies that I just mentioned, and we have a foundation of that here. We have an incredibly strong workforce here. We've got the talent, we've got the entrepreneurs, we've got the entrepreneurial support here. So it happens here naturally. I don't really see this as a challenge per se, but really kind of something that we can do, and that's really an advantage that we have is that there's so much on the ground already that we haven't done the industry itself has been speaking to each other, and they're very well organized, but we haven't done a whole lot from the state side to really have that conversation about, we've been speaking to manufacturing companies for 200 years. This is where manufacturing was invented in America. It was in Massachusetts. We haven't been talking to design firms. We have been speaking to the film industry through the film office. We haven't really been speaking to the video game industry. We don't really know what their needs are. So one of my jobs is really to figure out what are those kind of incentives, what are those kind of programs that we could be doing, what kind of support, given what government can do well, which is organize and provide support to the industry, what can we do well to help help them help themselves? So there's a lot to do there because we've never really engaged in it before. We're the first state in the country to ever really have a position like mine, so it's pretty exciting. It means that there's a lot of really immediate things we can do right now. Film is a particular industry, and how the film business works is very different from how a design firm works, right? One's a service-based industry, and one is actually kind of almost you could see as a manufacturer. So there's different things that they need, and we need to kind of figure out what are those different things. We have seen a lot of success in the film industry. We're extremely pleased about it. We'd love to see that continue to grow. So it's not quite. That's sort of one of my challenges. Is it's not quite the same for every piece of the industry. They all get their revenues in different ways. So it means we have to kind of be nimble and think about how can we kind of be multi-headed in this way.
My work is in cultural policy. My research is cultural policy. I've done research on artists, their careers. I've done work with city planning, how cities use the arts in building cultural plans. But my real job is where the rubber hits the road, and the creative industries only mean something for most students at Northeastern when they get a co-op job. So everything seems very pie in the sky until it's reality where the student gets a job in game design, gets a job in animation, gets a job in multimedia, and that's my job. I've been here at Northeastern 20 years, and when I came we didn't have computers in the labs. Now technology is the driving factor. So I think it's a whole new mindset in preparing students in a technology-driven world on how to get how to get jobs, how to forge a career when the industry is changing every single time you look out. There's some new iPod, some new way of working. It's not the same IBM type job that people came in the beginning at Northeastern. I was in LA 2 weeks ago visiting our Northeastern students who were working and co-oping in LA. And I think it's a growth industry out there. I think game design, I think animation, special effects, much of what Terrence has done really is where it's going. I think students should always be looking ahead, checking out what's hot in the industry, going online, constantly going to conferences so they're hearing and seeing what people are forecasting as their future.